Hi everybody. You can see my table is full of product this morning. So we are going to do a Let's Resin multiple review of products that they have sent me and asked me to do a review on. So let's go over what we're going to be reviewing today. First, metallic alcohol inks. They have 24 colors. And second, we're going to be doing the tabletop coating epoxy. Third, we're going to be doing the casting resin. So the gist of it is the casting resin is going to be the base of our resin. The alcohol inks are going to be an additive into the base of our colorant, which we're going to be using the Let's Resin mica powder in a purplish red and the Let's Resin color shift powder dark purple. And then when the coasters cure, we're making coasters by the way, when the coasters cure, we're going to be topping them with the tabletop coating epoxy. And so the reason we're doing all three of these at once is because I want to show you the difference between how you use the casting resin, how you use the tabletop epoxy, and what you can do with the metallic inks. And you have seen me use the Let's Resin mica powders before, but you've never seen me use all of these other products. So if that interests you, stay tuned and we're going to mix up some resin and we're going to get started on this project. So we'll be back and we'll get started. Okay, I've got my table arranged so that I can mix up some stuff here. Basically, the casting resin, it is exactly like the epoxy resin. There's no difference. The only difference with the casting resin versus the 1-to-1 epoxy resin is the fact that it comes with a pump. Otherwise, it's the same exact product as the epoxy resin. Now, the casting resin, the reason they came out with the casting resin is for those that have troubles lifting the bottles to pour out of. Otherwise, it's the same exact product as the epoxy 1-to-1, which is this product. These two products are exactly the same product. Exactly. There's no difference between the two. Other than it comes with a pump. And these are the pumps. And when you use the pumps, I think one pump. So what you get, because the casting resin isn't sold just with the bottles, it comes in a kit. And what you get in the kit is you get 6 mica powder colors, a box of the acetate glitter, and you get some foil. You get 6 mini bottles of resin dye, not alcohol ink, resin dye. You get some little spoons, you get a silicone tool, and you get a 50-gram bottle of ocean white. You get sticks, you get a couple tablecloths and a bunch of gloves, and you get the 40 ml plastic cups. And you get some of these too. I'm not sure how many. And then of course the pumps and the bottles. So that's what you get in the kit. So that's a really good deal on the kit. Now I don't use the pumps because when I get my resins in the gallon jugs, I decant them into smaller bottles. Okay, so let's mix up some of this. Let me get some gloves. Okay, so the bottles come with a pull tab. So you're going to pull that out. And this is part A. And you always want to make sure you keep your lids on your product and keep it on tight, because when air gets in the resin, it causes oxidation. Come on. And this is part B. I always mix my part B first. It always goes in first. Now these coasters are maybe a centimeter deep. You can measure them with water, but I've been doing this long enough now that I know approximately how much I need. I'm going to mix up 4 ounces. I always wipe off my bottle rim. Keeps my bottles from getting yucky. And I don't normally go over this part of it in my videos, but I am today because this is a product review video. And then I mix in my part A, and it's equal parts. So 2 ounces of part B and 2 ounces of part A to equal 4 ounces. And it has to be exact. There's no eyeballing this, because if you don't get it exact, you could have curing issues. Okay, set these over here. And I use a hand mixer for mine. So I will get these mixed up, and then I'll come back when this is mixed, okay? BRB. Okay, while my resin's mixing, I'm going to go over the 24 colors that come in the metallic alcohol inks. So there is rich gold, gold, royal gold, sparkly brass, and olive gold, black silver, white silver, gray, black, and silver, reddish brown, wine red, sparkly copper, purplish red, copper gold, rose gold, pearl white, champagne gold, bronze gold, brown, bronze, coffee, and red copper. So that's quite an array of metallics to go in just about any project you're wanting to achieve a metallic look. So today, since we're using the purplish red and dark purple, I'm trying to achieve a wine color because these are for a fall type look. I want like a wineish, purplish kind of color. You know, the color that's on leaves when they turn like a wine red color. So we're going to experiment with, where did I see that? We're going to do like a rose gold and a purplish red and maybe a pearl white, maybe. I kind of like the champagne gold too. But they all have to be shooken up because at the bottom you can see all of the metallics are at the bottom. And it's usually a good idea if you try to put like a BeeBee in the bottom, and that helps keep them mixed when you're trying to mix them, because that will settle very quickly. Okay, my resin is mixed up. Now when you mix up your resin, you want to make sure when you're using a hand mixer that you're completely mixed. So you want to go around with your mixer a couple times just to make sure you don't have any striations in there. Scrape the sides and mix it up a couple times just till it looks like you've got it all mixed up. The Stoyo mixer does mix it for 4 minutes. You guys, I'm excited because Let's Resin is coming out with a new hand mixer. Woo, I'm so excited. I like to clean my paddles because otherwise I forget. And I don't like to have my Now comes the fun part. So we're going to be putting in a different color on the back of these. We're just going to leave those as is. I'm going to mix up some more resin, clear, and we're just going to pour that right on top and see what happens. This is all experiment because I don't have a clue about these alcohol inks at all. So we're just testing, and it may have been a mistake to add that white. I don't know. So I'm just as new to this as you are, so we will see what happens. Okay? All right, we'll be back. Hi everyone, welcome back. I backed these. I didn't figure it was that big of a deal for you guys to miss that part. They are ready to take out of the molds. So let's go ahead and see. And what I used was the copper metallic powder by Let's Resin. So let's see what we have here. I'll go ahead and get them out, and then we'll flip them over and see what we have. Like I said, you guys, I have no clue what this is going to look like because I've never used these before. So hopefully, get some overspill here. Just trimming that off. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Well, look at that. That's interesting. You guys see that? I'm trying to get it so you guys can see it without the light glaring on it. Interesting. So the alcohol inks just kind of, I don't even know what they did. To be honest, I mean, they're there. I don't know. Did get a few bubbles on the side, so I'm going to have to tape around the sides of these before I fill them. One, because I don't want the resin to run out these. That's for sure. So now, next question is, do we fill in the lines with a marker to bring out those colors? I mean, the colors are there. I just don't think you can see them very well based on I don't know, to be exact. I'm hoping when we top coat them that those colors pop. I thought I was putting in too much alcohol, to be honest. This one here, I mean, they're all really cool looking. I just figured they would be a lot more vibrant. Okay, let me get these taped around the edge and on the back because I don't want them to be don't want that resin to be running out of there. Okay, let me get these taped and then I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, got them all taped. So, tabletop coating epoxy. Let's see what's in the box. Couple cups, some gloves. Looks like a couple foam brushes. Resin, spatula, some sticks, and the instructions. All right, let's see what the instructions state. So, compared with casting resin, it's designed for pouring onto level surfaces like tabletops, resin artwork, and for doming. Because of its thicker consistency, it will stay on the surface without running over the edge too quickly, leaving you with a thick, lustrous, high gloss coating. So, casting epoxy versus coating epoxy. So, casting epoxy is obviously a thinner viscosity, and the coating epoxy is a thicker viscosity. The casting epoxy is suitable for casting into molds, which is what we did here. The coating epoxy is best used for coating surfaces like bar tops, cheese boards, artwork, and tumblers. The casting epoxy is ideal for embedding and encapsulating objects. So in other words, putting things into casting resin. Coating epoxy is some are safe for incidental food contact. Casting epoxy, bubbles rise to the surface easily. On coating epoxy, bubbles can be popped once the resin has been poured onto the substrate. Casting epoxy, you have more working time, and coating epoxy, you have less working time. Casting epoxy cures slowly, and coating epoxy reaches a soft cure faster. So that is the gist of it. Tabletop epoxy resin is mixed 1:1 by volume. It says do not beat or whip the epoxy or use power tools to combine. Stir no more than 1 gallon at a time. Jeez. Mix only what you think you'll need, as leftover epoxy cannot be saved. Be ready to pour mixed product when you finish mixing. Allowing mixing product to sit in the mixing vessel will accelerate the curing process and could result in the product curing before it can be poured. Make sure your surface is completely level and the epoxy will self-level. Be sure to clean the surface with isopropyl alcohol, and a seal coat is brushed on very thinly. So epoxy resin is designed for 1/8 of an inch thick, and coating resin is 1/4 inch thick. Approximately 4 to 6 hours. Another layer can be poured, which we don't need to do that here. Basically, that's it. Alright, well, we're not going to need much for this. So one of these cups, 100 mLs, we're probably only going to need maybe 40 mLs for these, but I want to do these lines before I even think about mixing this, because we aren't going to let it sit. Okay, so let me grab one of my light wish markers here, and we're going to do a copper color. Whoa! Didn't think that was going to happen. Let's see here what colors. Can't remember what all of these are. I don't want it to be too bright. Okay. Done. I think I might mix up 50 milliliters to start. And if I need more, I'll mix up more because I don't want to mix up too much. All right, now I gotta mix this for 5 minutes. Wow. Let me set a timer here. So we can't use a hand mixer. Timer set. You guys don't need to watch me. I'll be back. Okay, 5 minutes. Look at all those bubbles. But they said it didn't matter, so. All right. We're just gonna pour in the middle. Okay, that is Dunskies. See that right there? Get my torch. So now we just have to let them cure. So this is what the reveal is going to look like. You can really see the colors now better. Turn another light on here. All right, guys. I will put pictures at the end of the video for you since this is the reveal. And so this is my comparison video on the casting resin, the the tabletop resin, and the differences and how you use them, and also the metallic alcohol inks. I think on those, I think next time I would use a whole lot more to get a better effect with those, because clearly I didn't use enough. So I would say definitely use a lot more of the alcohol inks if you're going to use them in something this big. That's my take on that. So, everyone, tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the comment box. Like this video if you learned anything today, because I sure did. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to do that. And we will see you guys all on the next video. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in with me on this how-to video and comparison video on the tabletop, the casting resin, and the metallic alcohol inks. Alright guys, see you on the next video. Bye!